Welcome back to the second division of Wales, the home of an absolute monster. Welcome back to the European Journeyman. Hello and welcome back. This is the state of the league table. We're sitting 5 points behind Britain Ferry, who are just relentless. We've been playing quite well since we left off last time. Here's the 4-1 win against Llanelli Town. We've had quite notable wins in the Cup, 12-0 win against a non-league team. We lost to Britain Ferry, our rivals in the Cup, so we're out the Tier 2 Cup. In the Welsh Cup, we're still in, and that's the next game that we're going to show you against
Cwmbran.
We had a disappointing result against Cambrian in Clydach, losing 2-1, where Kyle Patton got sent off. On the subject of Kyle Patton, his performances haven't been to the standard that I've been really wanting. I thought he was the answer to our centre defensive midfield role, but in our 13 appearances that we've had with him, he's only averaged a 6.66, which isn't exactly what I had in mind. Samran Dul went off on Indian duty at some point through the season, and I had a look at the Indian team, and this player, Rajdeep Palit, was a uncontracted player, so I brought him in. He can play as a centre defensive midfield or as attacking midfielder. We've also brought in this man to strengthen the centre defensive midfield, Alex Denny. He was at TNS 3 years ago, but he hasn't played for a team since. We've also picked up Tom Tweedy, who was released by Burnley last season after failing to make an appearance after his £25,000 transfer from Pennybont. He used to play in the Welsh Premier League a couple of years ago, and he's been playing quite well for us. Initially, I brought him in on the right wing, but his performances out there were awful, and we've since changed to a 4-2-3-1, and he's fitted in the attacking midfield role, and he's been playing a lot better there. That allowed Roberts to come back into the team, who had dropped out because of Tweedy, and he didn't really deserve to. He's only dubbed to be a 2-star player at the moment, but his performances have been pretty decent still, so I want to keep him in the team. Evans has sadly left us, a product of having non-contracted players, I'm afraid. He's gone off to Radcliffe to play in the non-league in England, and Pablo Martinez is his replacement. He can play centre-back or centre defensive mid, so that'll fit in nicely to our new system if he does need to step up into the midfield. Blake has continued to bang in the goals. He's got 18 in the league and 4 in the Cup. And speaking of the Cup, last round we beat Britain Ferry, redeeming ourselves after our League Cup defeat. So let's get into the game in the Cup. We're going with Reid in goal, Strong, Jenkins, Martinez and Keane as the back four, Denny and Palit in the defensive midfield slots, Pritchard and Roberts on the wings, Tweedy behind Blake as a target man up front. We're still trying to get Martinez up to match fitness, and his condition isn't excellent, but we're going to start him in this game and probably have to take him off at half time with Moss or Ware coming on for him. We managed to beat Cwmbran 5-1 in the league earlier in the week, so hopefully we can carry on that form and beat them again today. Keane now with a throw in to Tweedy, who's very deep as a shallow striker at the moment. Pallet plays it up to Denny. Pritchard picks it up in the left wing position, back to Tweedy, who plays it up to Roberts. Oh, played it into Blake, but I think he's offside. Blake's through and scores, but the linesman does raise his flag. He went a little bit too early, unfortunately. Strong with the corner now, whips it in, and Blake's there with a header and scores. Top left hand of the corner, lovely stuff, 1-0. Bird now for them on the attacking right side of the pitch. Wilson now crosses it in for Walker, and Tweedy shoved over Walker, and it's a penalty for them. We give away so many penalties, and I don't think we've ever saved one this season, and we haven't scored any, even though we've had 3 or 4. Ashworth with the penalty steps up and scores, equalising for Cwmbran, 1-1 in the Welsh Cup quarter-final. Half-time then, 1-1. They have slightly more possession, but I'm not too worried about that. I've told the boys to stay in the game and keep working hard, and we can win this. Martinez is still fit enough to stay on, so he's going to stay on for at least another 10 minutes because he's been playing okay-ish and he's better than the options on the bench. So let's start the second half. We're sitting quite deep here, I've noticed on the heat maps. And Cwmbran have a corner on the left-hand side. Bird flies one in. And Jenkins is there to meet with a clearing header, but only as far as Ashworth, who whips it into Walker, who heads it in. 2-1 to Cumbrawn. Less than ideal. We're going to make that substitution with Martinez now, who's going to come off for Dylan Moss. Tom Tweedy on a yellow card, and a 6.4 is going to come off for Cody Twose. Kean Pritchard on 6.4 is going to stay on for now, but Dool may come on for him if his performance doesn't improve soon. It's not really what we want to see. I mean, we are focusing on the league, but it looks like Britain Ferry are going to be champions and we're not going to get promoted, so it would be nice to have a little cup run. I'm going to try and encourage the boys and go attacking, and then probably have to make a few more changes. Nicky Roberts is looking very tired, so Dool's going to come on for him. Pritchard, even though he's on a 6.3, is going to stay on, I think, unless we've got another right wing. No, he's going to stay on. Blake is tired, but I think I'm going to keep him on, and Ware is going to come on for Gino, and we're going to change him to a fullback and leave it there for now. I think we're going to change formation to this more attacking version of the formation that we usually play, and hopefully that'll make a difference. And Strong picks up a loose ball, plays it up to Pritchard. Pritchard takes up the left wing, stays out wide. Is he going to whip it in? Yes, he is. Blake's there. Oh, hits the ball straight at the keeper. If he'd played it anywhere else, I think he would have scored, but it wasn't to be. But Strong again on the left, plays it up to Twose. Cody Twose dispossessed by Bird, who plays it back to the defence. Cleared now, but Jenkins picks up the loose ball. Pallett up to Pritchard. Pritchard, is he going to square it to Blake? Too much mustard on that one, but he gets another chance. Pritchard on the edge of the area to Pallett. Pallett, is he going to pile drive one in? And he just goes over the bar. I think that might have been the last chance. And it was 2-1 to Cumbrawn, out of the Welsh Cup in the quarter-final stage. Not a bad run, but I'm not exactly happy about it. And here we are then, a huge game against Britain Ferry. It's an absolute must-win. On the subject of Britain Ferry, after Evans had been taken from us by Radcliffe, I was looking at a few centre-backs in the form of Tristan Jones and Keston Davies, who both decided to go to Britain Ferry over us. It seems like money talks. We only have a salary per annum spend of 3,000, and Britain Ferry have a salary per annum of almost 80,000. Obviously, this doesn't tell the whole story because we've got non-contracted players with appearance bonuses, but it does seem like there's a stark contrast financially between the two teams. The game in between the Welsh Cup quarter-final and today's game, we won 2-0. That win sees us level on points with the team in third, but we've got 2 games in hand on them. We are 5 points behind Britain Ferry with 7 games to go. We're going with an unchanged team for this game. The bench don't really have the best match fitness, and this is by far the best team on paper we can put out. We won the last time we played Britain Ferry, but that was at our place. Here we are at Britain Ferry's ground, where historically we haven't done very well. And it's us with the first highlight of the game. Pallett back to Keane, who whips it into Pritchard, but it's collected by the Britain Ferry keeper, who looks upfield and sees red shirts flooding outwards to the opposing penalty area. Hereford collects the loose ball and plays it back to Wilson. Jallow on the left wing for them plays it back to Bello. Bello runs up the left and Keane tries to get in the way of the cross. Oh, it's Roberts, sorry. Roberts collects the ball, plays it back to Keane, who plays it up to Tweedy. Tweedy back to Roberts and Keane again, who's up to Pallett. Martinez, and he gives the ball to Hewitt, who absolutely should have scored there, but luckily Rid saves. Half time then, 0-0. Not the most eventful half of football ever played. The only chance of the game so far was that miscommunication at the back with Martinez and Rid. Not good enough, boys. The possession has been awful. We haven't had any chances and we need to do a lot better. Second half then, Martinez with a free kick hits the crossbar, I think, and goes over. Almost immediate redemption for Martinez then from his mistake in the first half. Britain Ferry on the ball now, playing it up to Britain, and then Evans to Bello. Bello up to Jallow. These two seem to link up quite a lot on the left for Britain Ferry. Jallow plays it back and Wilson collects the ball in midfield. It doesn't look like we're pressing too urgently, even though I've instructed the boys to. Jallow's on the left wing now in space. Plays it over to Dawson on the other wing, but Strong cuts out the header only as far as Jones there, right back, who plays it in field to Davies and then Dooley. Davies now lumps it up forward and Jenkins just tries to clear the ball, but it only goes as far as Dawson. Wilson and Miles was plays it to Jallow, and Shewitt puts it in the back of the net, but was in an offside position when the ball was played to him, so the linesman disallows the goal as offside. Martinez now plays it up to Pritchard as we attack the left wing. Inside to Blake. Blake heads and just over. We're playing well in this must-win game, but we need to do better. We need to get the ball in the back of the net. But it's Britton Ferry with possession again. Jallow on the left wing. He has the ball a lot, apparently. Wilson and Jallow linking up yet again. Plays it into Hewitt. He's onside this time, but he heads over. Almost 70 minutes on the clock, and we're going to make some substitutions. Alex Denny on a yellow card is going to come off for Kyle Patton in the ball-winning midfielder role. Nicky Roberts is going to come off for Dool, and we'll have the two Indian international players on the pitch at the same time. And we're just going to leave it there for now, just the two changes. 78 minutes on the clock, we're going to go attacking. We need to win this game. Again, it's Britton Ferry with a highlight. Jallow with a free kick on the edge of the area in a dangerous position. Plays it short to Jones, who should have scored. He was in miles of space there. Strong with an attacking free kick. Lumps it into the penalty area. Patton tries to head it down, but only goes as far as Dool on the edge of the penalty area. Penalty surely. No! Britton Ferry get away with on there. It looks like he was clean with his tackle. And they play it out of defence. Slick passing from Britton Ferry. Seems to be how they play. Hereford now, who was being a thorn in the side of us the whole game. And I think that puts the season to bed. Britton Ferry are all but champions as it stands. We need 2 goals in the next 3 minutes, and I don't think it's going to come. It doesn't. 1-0 to Britton Ferry. Our worst fears are realised. And that's that, I think. Barring some sort of miracle from Britton Ferry losing all the rest of their games, I think they're going to go up as champions. And it looks like we're destined for another year in the Welsh Second Division, unless we want to make a move to a different club in Europe. If you'd like for me to make a move and try to get to a different club, or try and get Abergavenny promoted to the Welsh Premier League, let me know in the comments and we'll see what we can do. I'm going to be away for a while, so the next video is not going to be until the 19th of August. But I hope you've enjoyed that one. Please leave a like on the video and watch another one if you wish. And I'll see you next time.